Hey everybody, this is Kenny C from Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. Coming up tonight, we'll recap Raw, SmackDown, Impact, make our picks for Hell in a Cell, and special guest, indie pro wrestler Luxus Latasha will be our guest. That's all coming up momentarily on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. You're listening to us on itmiradio.com, simulcasting on the TTW Radio tab at chillinbroadcasting.com via ustream.tv. Thank you everyone for listening. As you can see, I'm getting myself together. The intro is almost done on the ITMI radio feed. And check out the brand new chat room look on itmiradio.com/TTW radio. Well, actually, it's itmiradio.com/TTW. The chat room has changed a little bit. ITMI radio's got a different layout. So check that out for more info. And also, we have the 1 year anniversary of ITMI radio coming up this Sunday at 9 o'clock. More details to come on itmiradio.com. Right now, we got this show coming up right now. Let me go ahead and get Jeff on here as soon as the intro ends. Good evening, wrestling fans, and welcome to Triple Threat Wrestling Radio right here on itmiradio.com. Thank you everyone for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the Red Bastard Sports Show. We just finished that up, and now I'm about to get Jeff on the call. We got plenty of stuff to discuss. Oh, Jeff's trying to call me. I got to call Jeff. Hold on a second. I got to call Jeff so that when the guest calls in, the caller will go through me. I got to be in charge of the call. Oh, there he is. Jeff is joining me right now.
What's up, buddy?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good, man.
We just finished Red Bastard Sports Show, and we on to the wrestling portion.
Now I get to talk less and you get to talk more.
That's great. 58 minutes. Oh, that's great.
Nah, it's okay, man.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about. We've got Monday night to talk about. We got tonight to talk about. We got Sunday to talk about.
Yeah, 60 minutes, man. We got this.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and start off with the WWE portion of the show. You know how the show goes. First half of the show, WWE talk. 10 minutes after that is an interview with Luxus Latasha. And then the TNA/Impact talk for 10 minutes. And then for the last 10 minutes, what we do every Thursday before a pay-per-view is our pay-per-view pick'em. Now, even though there are 4 scheduled matches,
There's going to be more than that.
4 scheduled matches for Hell in a Cell, we will make our picks for the matches at hand. So let's go ahead and start off WWE Monday Night Raw Super Show from this past Monday night. Triple H had quite a busy night. Triple H came in, start the show, explained why he fired Miz and R-Truth.
Mm-hmm.
He showed a video package of why that those 2 men have been fired. First of all, go back to Night of Champions. They put their hand on an official, gets DQ'd. After the match, they put their hand on the referee again. And then later that night, Night of Champions, they got involved in Triple H's match against CM Punk. But mostly, Triple H said the main reason is because they put the hand on the official, which kind of leads to The Miz was responding to Triple H on his Twitter page, and he called the COO a hypocrite. He called Triple H on his Twitter page a hypocrite. And I got some of the tweets in front of me, and we'll get to the Miz tweets in just a little bit. But Triple H did what he had to do. You know, Miz and R-Truth were getting out of control, and he did the only thing he know how, and the best way that he knows how at this point, and that's firing. He fired Kevin Nash. Unfortunately, he came back and United Champions. You better hope that Miz and Truth don't show up at Hell in a Cell. That's for damn sure. Luckily for Triple H, he doesn't have a match scheduled later on. At least not yet. They're gonna need some more matches, man. This is kind of like SummerSlam. You had like 4 matches, and then you had 2 last-minute matches once the pay-per-view actually started.
They only had 6 matches at SummerSlam?
6 or 7 for like 3-hour pay-per-view. You know, they only have 4 matches scheduled. We all know that the Hell in a Cell is going Cena, Punk, and Del Rio, that's going to be the longest, 30, 40 minutes tops.
Yeah, well, it's going to take fucking 10 minutes just to introduce all 3 of them.
Yeah. So, and Cena's title is on the line, and worst part for Cena is that the championship can change hands without him being pinned or submitted. I mean, that's the beauty of these triple threat matches, especially when the championship is on the line. So Triple H did the only way he know how, and that's to fire him. And I'm trying to get to the Miz Twitter page, trying to get that page uploaded so I can read some of the tweets that he said about Triple H, and I'll get to that momentarily. Now, on to another thing that happened on Raw. It looks like Vicky Guerrero got Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger on the same page, because Swagger helped Ziggler defeated Zack Ryder to win his match and retain the United States title. And I have a feeling this may be a late last minute addition to the card of Hell in a Cell. It may be Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler going up against Air Boom for the tag team titles.
You think so?
That's just my assumption. I'm just assuming that's going to happen, considering Vicky somehow got them 2 on the same page. Now, speaking of people who's making their returns, what about the former Nexus member, Mason Ryan?
That was pretty interesting.
Oh, Batista Jr., as I like to call him. You know, Teddy Long decided to make it a 6-man tag team match, and Vicky had to look for a tag team partner for Ziggler and Swagger, and they picked Mason Ryan. And once Mason Ryan got the tag, he beat the crap out of both Ziggler and Ryder, pretty much. He wanted to make a statement, obviously, in his return, and led to Air Boom and Zack Ryder to pick up the victory. And it's the second straight week that Ryder beat Ziggler in an untitled match. Second straight week in a row. That is crazy. That is unbelievable. So, and my good friend Andrew in the chat room stated that Jimmy Uso with the Usos got arrested this morning. I just saw that on the news there, Andrew. Yep, that is true. He got arrested in Tampa, Florida, DUI, I believe it was. Kind of similar to what happened with Alex Riley a few months back. You know, you got to wonder what they're going to do with the Usos, especially Jimmy. He's probably going to take some time off. We'll see what happens with him. So, yeah, Jimmy Uso got arrested this morning.
Who the hell is that?
He's one of the Usos, a tag team, WWE. Yeah, they don't, for a tag team, especially them, they happen to be the sons of former WWE wrestler Rikishi. Yeah, they are the twins. Not only they're brothers, but they're twins. So, one of the brothers got arrested this morning for DWI. So first we have to deal with Impact people getting arrested for DUI. Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy. Now the Usos. It's nothing but tag team specialists that gets arrested. See, the difference between Impact and WWE as far as these incidents is concerned is that undercard talent for WWE gets arrested, but then you got Kurt Angle who got arrested. And yet what he gets in return, He gets a 3-year extension to stay put in Impact because he's a top caliber talent, and they're not gonna let him go over it. They let go of Matt Hardy because he's an undercard talent. He's just a tag team specialist. But enough about the Usos. Back to Raw. What else happened this past Monday night? Divas of Doom. Beth Phoenix finally defeated Kelly, but it wasn't one-on-one. It was a tag team match, of course. And because of that non-title win, Beth Phoenix gets one more shot at the Divas title against Kelly. If we can recap, Kelly defeated Beth Phoenix at SummerSlam and Night of Champions, especially when Night of Champions was in her hometown of Buffalo. Maybe if she feed off of the Buffalo Bills, then she actually win for once. So she's getting one more chance. And I gotta think, they're trying to give the Divas a push. They're trying to give Beth Phoenix, Natalya a push. Divas of Doom, the bad girls and whatnot. And Kelly, underdog. People say she has no chance. We'll see how that goes. I say if Beth Phoenix doesn't win, then Natalya should get the shot at Kelly. But because how this feud started between Beth Phoenix and Kelly, I see WWE keeping that going. And if the Divas of Doom want to take over the Diva division, they gotta have the possession, and that is the Divas Championship.
Who's the women's champion?
Divas champion right now is Kelly. Still,
it's a Divas champion. It's not the women's champion.
Yeah, Divas right? Championship.
They changed it from the women's champion to the Divas champion.
Yeah, they used to have the women's championship, and then they had the Divas championship, and then the women's championship belt retired just, I think, a year or two ago. So they stick to just one champion for the woman, or in their case, what they call Divas. And Andrew, Beth Phoenix is not Christian. As far as I'm begging one more match. She's been keeping her mouth shut a little bit. And speaking of Christian is annoying the living hell out of me. Talking about one more match. He had one more match, alright, against Mark Henry last Friday on SmackDown in a lumberjack match. And thanks to Sheamus, Mark Henry successfully defended his gold against Christian. And then this past Monday night, as Christian, alongside others, interrupted Triple H, he was on the roll. He was like, you know what? You want one more match? I'll give you one more match. You get one more match against John Cena, which was this past Monday night. That match ended in a disqualification because of the interference of Alberto Del Rio. But Triple H wasn't done with Captain Charisma. He said, you know what? You get one more match this Friday, tomorrow night on SmackDown, against Randy Orton. And as we continue this one more match trend, you get one more match this Sunday, Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, against Sheamus. The same Sheamus who cost him the World Heavyweight Championship on SmackDown last week. So now I've finally gotten the Miz Twitter page up and loading. Here's some of the tweets from the Miz. This was back in September 27th. Triple H, this is a tweet from Miz. Triple H fired us for savagely attacking a WWE official. I wonder if Triple H ever put his hands on a WWE official. Let's see, hypocrite. And then a few tweets later, he mentioned some matches. Triple H versus Stone Cold, No Mercy, 1999. Triple H pushes ref, hypocrite. Triple H versus Y2J, Monday Night Raw, April 2000. Triple H beats up in Pedigree's ref, Hypocrite. And my favorite Triple H versus Kevin Nash, Judgment Day 2003. Triple H savagely hits the ref with a sledgehammer, just to name a few. Hypocrite. So there you go. That's from the Miz on his Twitter page.
Don't do as I do. Do as I say, bitch. That's what I tell Miz.
So there you go. And then he had his syndicated radio show on Sirius Satellite Radio, and he continued to go off on Triple H. But say what you want about the Miz, but the guy does have a point. I mean, Triple H, he's put his hands on referees before. Only difference is he's not part of the McMahon family like the Miz is. And plus, Vince McMahon was in charge. Stephanie McMahon was in charge. So he could pretty much do whatever and get away with it. Maybe he should marry a McMahon, then put his hands on referees and get away with it. Just a thought.
That'd be fun.
So marry a McMahon and you do whatever you want. Miz does have a point about firing someone because of putting a hand on a referee, when Triple H, among many other wrestlers before him and after him, have put their hands on a referee.
Triple H should use the line, don't do as I do as I say. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, he's the COO. He can pretty much do whatever he wants.
That's right.
He's the boss. You know, regardless of what he's done, what he said in the past. You know, either you go along or, you know, you get fired. And let's not forget, Miz and R-Truth, they appeared on a couple of house shows for WWE. None televised, to be exact. So this storyline may lead up to Hell in a Cell. They may end up making an appearance in New Orleans this Sunday night, considering they have 4 scheduled matches. They need something to get those 2 airtime, Miz and Truth. So we'll see how that goes.
Should be interesting, huh?
I mean, it's Hell in a Cell, 2 matches, Hell in a Cell matches. Others are just regulars. Sheamus against Christian, Kelly versus Beth Phoenix. And this is their second pay-per-view in 2 weeks.
I know, that's pretty quick.
And it's going to be their first of 2 pay-per-views in the month of October, because later in the month of October 23rd will be Vengeance in Shawn Michaels' hometown, San Antonio.
Why are they doing that?
I mean, it used to be WWE and WCW and other wrestling companies have 12 pay-per-views, 1 for each month. Well, they got more than 12. Considering 2 in the same month, they don't even have a pay-per-view in the month of March, which is like a month before WrestleMania. So, like, it's just not what it once was. Let's just put it that way. Oh, and check this out. I'm surprised that we haven't discussed this yet, because coming in 2012, WWE will debut its new channel called the WWE Network, which would take a look back into WWE's history from the past to the present. It will show classic stuff from WCW, ECW, AWA, NWA, WWF, just anything they have in their library. You know, they're gonna go over DVDs. They're gonna play DVDs from the past, from the present. They may play WWE films over there. Hell, according to reports, that may be the only place that you get to watch WrestleMania come next year, which will headline Cena versus Rock. So that may not take place until later this year, next year.
Might not be no more pay-per-views. Just watch it on the WWE Network.
I don't think they're gonna be doing that. They still gonna go through the pay-per-views as planned, but they may have just WrestleMania because it's, well, of course, WrestleMania. maybe the only pay per view that you can watch through the WWE Network simultaneously. But who knows?
I don't even have that channel.
What channel?
WWE channel.
Well, it hasn't debuted yet. It's coming next year.
Yeah, I
So
don't even know if the cable company out here is getting it though.
yeah.
There've been a lot of talks about it.
So yeah, everyone, you may want to check your local listings come 2012 to see if it's going to be available in your area. So keep that in mind. Let's see. You had Ziggler, you had Swagger, Mason Ryan is back, obviously, and you gotta wonder what WWE plans to do with Mason Ryan, because last time we heard from him, he was part of the Nexus until until they just pretty much fell off, and CM Punk went on to do his own thing. Now he's on his own. No more Nexus, no more Otunga, no more McGillicuddy. And speaking of Otunga, that's what I want to talk about. Because he was talking with John Laurinaitis about what's going
That
on.
son of a bitch wants to sue the WWE, doesn't he?
He's a Harvard graduate, so obviously he got something up his sleeve. So
Yes, he does.
Otunga does, and Laurinaitis. Is it me or does John Laurinaitis sounds like he has a cold?
Sounds,
He sounds like he has a fever when he talks.
sounds like he's choking on a dick.
Well, that's your way of putting it. He just sounds like he has a congestion or something. But yeah, Otunga, he's getting together with Christian, with Ziggler, with Cody Rhodes, which I also want to talk about. Cody Rhodes had a hissy fit that he got beat the crap out of by Randy Orton SmackDown last week. Took his frustrations on Triple H. And Triple H said, you know what? You're gonna moan and groan, you're a champion. Get over it. And you know what? I'll give you something to moan and groan about. I'm gonna put you in a 10-man over the top rope battle royal to start the show.
That was great.
And then there was the two Sin Caras. Who knows? It may be Sin Cara versus Sin Cara of Hell in a Cell. Just
One
another.
of them was probably Rey Mysterio.
I don't think so. Rey Mysterio looks a little, at least body size looks a lot different. He looks a little bit more smaller than Sin Cara does. I mean, they do have the same height, but the shape of the body is different.
They're probably brothers. like fucking Undertaker.
Undertaker and Kane.
Yeah.
The mask of destruction, or the mask of elevation. Rey Mysterio just had his another surgery on his leg, so he's recovering. Where
Snuggy foot.
we have a
Snuggy foot.
we have a Snoogie Foot just joined us. What's going on, Snoogie? And if you don't like that name, just click your name on the chat room there. You can change your name.
Yeah, Snuggy foot.
So yes, so it's the chat room that we have that comes up with these funny names. So just so you know, just click your name on the chat room there, and you can change your name. Now we have a footy face. Anyway, moving right along.
Footy face. Wow.
Yeah, footy face. Yeah, if you're refreshing your page, that's not gonna help. It's just gonna give you another random name. So just click on your name, and you can change your. Oh, that's Rocket Man. What's going on, Rocket Man? Thanks for joining us. Oh, in about 7 minutes, we're gonna be joined with indie pro wrestler Luchis Latasha out of Massachusetts. I don't think she's a happy Red Sox fan. I wonder if she is or not. Just curiosity. But she's going to be our guest tonight in about 6 minutes. And then we'll talk Impact. And then we'll make our picks for the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. All that and more coming up. Let's see what else is on the new Triple H's new movie Inside Out just came out on DVD and Blu-ray disc.
You know, that kind of sucks because it didn't even go to the movies. It went right out on the DVD.
It was on for 2 weeks and then it just came out on DVD and Blu-ray disc. I mean, WWE used to have movies out for a couple of months and then it comes out on DVD later in the year. But they just saying it's going to be out for selected theaters a few weeks only and they'll be out on DVD and Blu-ray disc.
Now live Rocket Man.
Yeah, Rocket Man for Now Live's joined us.
What's up, Rocket Man?
So yeah, that's what's going on there. Triple H, Inside Out, that's coming out. That just came out on DVD and Blu-ray disc this past Tuesday night. This past Tuesday, I should say. We're not going to talk too much about Superstars or NXT because, well, it's not even worthy. But I did watch NXT for the first time in many months, and they are still on their 5th season. They have been on for 30 weeks, and yet they're down to 3 wrestlers left.
Remember did they start with 50?
They started off with 6 actually, because it's the redemption season. It's contestants from past season competing to get one more shot in being in the WWE roster. And what they was trying to do with that is the winner of that season will compete in season 6 to determine who's going to be the next breakout star.
Oh God!
So they eliminated people in the like a first couple of months, and then all of a sudden it's become a show itself. It's no longer who's going to be the next breakout star. It's become a show itself. So either they don't have a lot of contestants for season 6, or they're just going to keep this show up and running. And let's face it, NXT and Superstars are basically shows where superstars like the Usos or other people don't get airtime and they get over there on the internet. You're not going to see them on TV that very much.
Good.
And besides, it's only a 2-hour show for Raw and SmackDown. They can't fit everybody in 2 hours. Can't please everybody. At least you're getting in the ring, and at least you're getting paid. Other wrestlers recovering from injuries is Maurice, former Divas champion. No word on when she will be coming back to in-ring action.
Good.
So Maurice is recovering. Rey Mysterio is recovering. So those superstars may be back either later this year or early 2012, just in time for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. So there you go on that side of things. Oh, and did you not hear what Michael Cole said when he talked about Jerry the King Lawler's injury? He said that he was suffering anal bleeding.
I know. What's up with that? What the fuck is up with freaking
Michael Cole?
I hope Lola comes back and smacks him in the head.
Talk about...
And Cole will go, what is that for? That's for saying anal bleeding, motherfucker. Whack. Do it again.
It's funny. And the reaction of Booker T and Jim Ross, they just like silently just looked at him like, you said it on national TV? That's just...
I know, right?
That's too much information. That's not a storyline, a situation. That's... Just say the guy suffered some rib injuries and just move on. No need to mention anal bleeding, for God's sake.
I don't need to know that.
Cole. Nobody wants to know that.
No.
Just say he just suffered rib injuries and just move on. Of course, he got hurt by world's strongest man, Mark Henry. Speaking of Mark Henry, he continues to cause damage to superstars, and he's getting one more. He's going to be defending his title
got a little chip on his shoulder, doesn't he?
Yeah, Mark Henry. This is going to be his first Hell in a Cell match. Our guest is calling in right now. Let me go ahead and add her to the conference. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest at this time on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio is an indie pro wrestler out of Massachusetts. Her name is Luxus Latasha. She's joining us right now. Hello, Latasha.
Hi, how are you?
We're doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good hanging in there.
That's good to hear. Two things before we begin. First, your birthday was just 2 days ago, so happy belated birthday. And
Thank
two,
you.
thank you for being our guest of the show this evening.
Thank you for having me. I was looking forward to it. Honestly, I really was. I was like trying to make sure I'm like, okay, I need to have my phone on me exactly 8:30 so I can call in.
That's what I like to hear. Someone who's prepared. That's great.
Yes, I like that too. Way to go.
That's my co-host Jeff. Of course, I'm Kenny. Uh, so Latasha, why don't you go ahead and tell the listeners a little bit about yourself and how did your wrestling career get started?
Okay. Well, because I started training when I was 16. Um, it was my first debut was I managed a local guy the day of my birthday. It was my 16th birthday, and I that was I believe it was a Saturday, and the Tuesday after that I actually started training. So I just hit like my 8 year mark of training. So I just dawned on me a little while ago too. I was like, wow, it's already been 8 years. It's pretty crazy. But I started watching wrestling when I was about 4 years old with my grandmother. And we actually went to a live pay-per-view. It was King of the Ring 97 in Providence. And I remember saying to my grandmother, like, this is what I want to do. And I'm only 7 years old, you know what I mean? And my grandmother's like, well, if this is really what you want to do, then we'll see in a couple of years. But, nobody took me seriously. I was 7 years old. Like, a lot of kids say they want to be doctors and they want to do this, they want to do that, and then they end up changing their minds, like, constantly. So it's really surprising that at such a young age, that's what I really wanted to do, and I ended up actually doing it. But there was a local wrestling company that I actually still wrestle for now, and train with. It's corporate promotions, but back in the day, it was called Yankee Pro Wrestling. So they were right up the street from my house, and I actually went to one of their shows when I was about 11, because I didn't know that there was local wrestling. I just knew about WWE at the time, well, WWF it was at the time, and like WCW. So I wasn't aware that there was like independence. And I remember seeing like a flyer on like a pole saying pro wrestling, and I'm like, no way, there's no way. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with Alexis from WSU. She actually used to live right next door to me. We used to go to school together, and I got her into like watching wrestling with me. And she's like, yeah, my mom actually works for one of the guys. Like, she helps out and does concession. Maybe we can like go to the show. And I'm like, how did you not tell me that your mom goes to wrestling too? So when I was about 11, I checked out my first show, and I actually talked to the promoter at the time, and I was like, how old do you have to be? And he's like, well, you have to be 16, and you have to have your parents' permission, you have to sign a waiver and all that. So I was like, okay, that's cool. And because me and Alexis, we really enjoyed it, we went to every show, like almost every weekend, just helping out. I started out just doing concession. And then when I was about like 14, 15, I would actually like videotape some of the shows for them. And then once I was 16, I was able to start training finally, which was great.
All right. Do you remember your first match? And if so, who was it against and where was it located?
My first match was in February 2004 in Bellingham, Massachusetts. I remember it like it was yesterday, just because of the fact that my grandmother that was the only match that she was able to see before she passed away. So that match like sticks out very, very well in my head. And it was against, at the time she was Trinity H. Campbell, but she ended up changing her name, I believe, like maybe 2 years later to Della Morte. She had a couple of matches for WSU down in Jersey, but now I'm pretty sure she's not wrestling anymore. I know she moved away to like Oregon or something. So it was me and this girl Erica. She's not wrestling anymore either. She actually has kids and like a family down in Florida now. But it was me and her and a handicap match against Trinity, and I was scared for my life. Trinity's probably about 5'8" and like maybe 300 pounds. So me at 4'11", yeah, that's very intimidating, especially for my first match.
Wow, that's talk about a way to get your wrestling career up and going. But at least you made it far, and I gotta say this because that's not a whole lot of African American wrestlers out there, especially women. You know, when I think of African Americans, I think of Jacqueline. I think of some other people I don't recall. I mean, how do you feel about?
Jazz.
Yeah, I think of Jazz as well. Just to name a few. I mean, how do you feel about the lack of African American female wrestlers? I mean, do you think they focus on other sports? What's your take on that?
The lack of in professional wrestling. I actually at one point I don't really watch like modern day like wrestling. I'll catch some of it, but at one point I know TNA had actually a lot of African Americans, and I remember thinking like, because before they didn't, and I was like, oh, maybe I can like send tape in, and hopefully they'll like notice me. I'll stick out a little bit because they didn't have a lot of African Americans, but and I remember at one point they had like Jacqueline, Awesome Kong, Raka Khan, I think that's her name.
Yeah, that's it.
And, and they had like a lot. They had like at least 5, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, there goes my chance right now. But I actually ended up doing a TNA gut check with them back in May, and I haven't heard anything since. Like they just said, like send a couple of your tapes in and stuff, and I thought I would stand up, but I don't know. I know some people changed over their jobs, and some people that were there aren't there, and all that other jazz. That the goodness of that. But I noticed that there's not a lot, like you said, like there's not a lot. So I feel like I should stand out more. I'm actually trying to travel more and get my face shown more and have more people know about me. To like bring up my following and try to see where I can go, because I love doing this, you know, and I'm not just doing it just to do it. Like I love it, and I don't plan on quitting or retiring anytime soon. Like to me, this is like just the beginning, and I'm just gonna keep trying. And it sucks that there's not a lot. Like my tag team partner in Jersey, Jana, she's been wrestling for quite a while too, and we're actually called the Soul Sisters. For WSU, which the tag name's kind of funny. It's kind of stereotypical, but yeah, like there's not a lot of us. And I think it's me and her. They're the only African Americans for WSU. Like every now and then, like they'll have like this girl Monique come in, and I guess they had some Athena. I guess she's from Texas or something. They used her like I think once. So I noticed that they're trying to bring in more African Americans. But it seems like on TV there's not many. I don't even think there really has any currently, if I recall. I haven't watched it in a while, but I'm pretty sure no, they don't have any right now. Oh, well, they had Karma, but obviously she's sidelined right now.
Yeah. And it's interesting you said Soul Sisters because that's led to my next question. Y'all a tag team from WSU. How did the tag team got together?
Well, it was actually the first anniversary, the first show they had back like 4.5 years ago. I was going down there, and they actually threw us together, which was kind of cool because I never met Jana before, and we actually hit it off really, really well, and we decided to run with it. Like, we're like, okay, we'll give it a try. Like, let's see how this works. And I really do like teaming with her. It's just that it just happens in Jersey. Like, I wish we can do more. But a lot of places don't really use women's tag teams, so it's hard for us to actually work together as a tag team. You're lucky if you find a girls match on a show, let alone like a tag team women's match, you know. So it started like 4.5 years ago, actually coming up on our 5th anniversary show in March. And we split up for a little bit. We weren't getting along. We weren't really winning a lot of matches, so that got a little frustrating. But we like settled our differences and realized like let's try to give this another go. And now we have a match November 19th for number one contendership against the Bell Saints, team of San Antonio and Marty Bell. And the winner of that match gets a title shot at the 5th anniversary show in March against the Boston Shore.
We just
We're looking forward to that.
We just interviewed Marty Bell just 2 weeks ago. She talked about the match as well, the mindset. So everybody check that out. Bell Saints versus Soul Sisters, WSU Breaking Barrier, November 16th. 19th, excuse me. It is. So WSU, arguably the number one women wrestling company in the country. If you want women wrestling that lasts more than 5 minutes, then go check out WSU, that pay-per-view in November. Other than WSU, what are some other wrestling matches you have coming up?
I have one tomorrow night for Top Rope Promotions in Boxborough, Massachusetts, against Barbie. I was actually supposed to have a cage match with her back in August, but I ended up being in Japan. I was only supposed to be in Japan for about a month, and they actually asked me to extend my stay for another month. Well, a little over a month, I'd say about like 6 weeks. And I ended up doing that, so I had to cancel my cage match against Barbie. So I get to finally get in the ring with her again, but I don't really know if we're going to have our cage match because they advertised it. They ended up having 2 other girls, Amber from the Boston Shore, and this woman Taylor in a 3-way cage match. So I don't know if I'll get like my rematch in a cage with Barbie, but I'm definitely facing her tomorrow night. I'm supposed to actually be going back. I think it's November. I don't really know the date yet because the promoter just talked to me about it if I was available in Bellingham, where I wrestled my first match. And I think it's in November for Top Rope Promotions. So I'm looking forward to going back there since it's where I first had my match. So it's pretty sentimental to me. And the next one after that, I have a show in October where I'm just managing. But my next match after that I'm actually wrestling is Breaking Barriers, which I'm really, really looking forward to. And it's a lot of those girls, and it's the last show that they had. I heard it went really, really well. And I caught one of them on iPay-per-view, but the one with the Lexus and Mercedes match that went 73 minutes. I really want to see that. And I was really upset that I missed that because I heard that was an awesome, awesome match.
All right, for those just joining us on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio, we are live with indie pro wrestler Luxus Latasha, all the way from Massachusetts. She's joining us here on the show. Who are some of your favorite wrestlers that you have worked with, teaming up or going up against? Who would you consider, let's say, your top 5 favorite wrestlers that you have worked with?
My first one would be Luna Vachon. I got to work with her in 2005. I was still very, very new to the business. So, again, I was nervous to work with her, but she was so, so awesome with me. And I'm great that I got the opportunity to work with her. I would say I love working with Barbie. She's come a long way. I worked with Alexis in the very first beginning stages of both of our careers because we started around the same time. I wrestled her maybe like every show for like 2 years straight. Amber, I had a lot of good matches with Amber. I actually worked with Velvet Sky. Our match, I really, really enjoyed our match. That was for Northeast Wrestling about 2 years ago in New York. who else? I'd say probably that's about it. Like everyone that I step in the ring with, it's a great opportunity. I actually got to work with Mia Yim down in Japan, up in Japan, and it was great because I actually didn't think I'd be wrestling against her because like we were the Gaijins, we were the Americans, we were the foreigners, so it was like us against Japan, and my last match there, I actually got to work with her, which was great. I got to work with Ray. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Japanese like joshi wrestlers or not, but I actually have a matchup on YouTube of it.
Yeah, I
Me
just saw
against
that
Ray.
match. I saw
What's that?
that match, and that was
Uh,
good.
Thank you. I really, really enjoyed working with her. It was for the contendership of the junior championship title, so it was really, really great to work with her. Like, a lot of I'm very like thrilled and honored to like work with a lot of girls I get to work with, just because like they respect the business. They're just not in it just for like to wear little outfits and because their boyfriend's in it or because of the guys. Like they're in it because this is what they want to do, you know. So I'm very thrilled that I get to work with the females that I get to work with.
We got people in our chat room over at ITMI Radio just saying hello. Um, so yeah, just
Hi
thought,
guys.
yeah. So Latasha, before we end this interview, I asked all guests to do this. It's called a station ID, like a voice drop. All you have to do is say your name, and right after you say your name, you say you are listening to Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. Okay, you ready?
This is Leslie Latasha, and you're listening to Triple Threat Radio.
That's Triple Threat Wrestling Radio.
Ah, sorry.
That's okay. That's all right.
This is Leslie Latasha, and you're listening to Triple Threat Wrestling Radio.
Perfect. And why don't you go ahead and tell the listeners how they can contact you, Facebook and Twitter. I know those like the only links you have. But so yeah, go ahead and promote your links, girl.
I use Facebook. It's actually facebook.com/LusciousLatasha. My Twitter is twitter.com/LusciousLatasha. And I now am very new to the YouTube channel. I'm trying to get a lot of my matches up there, and that is also youtube.com. I believe it's users/LusciousLatasha. I'm trying to get more of my videos up because a lot of the matches I have are from like WSU and they sell DVDs, so I'm not actually able to release a lot of my matches. And the place I work for normally, Toronto Promotions, they have DVDs also, so I'm not really able to release those matches. So I'm trying. I have 2 matches up there so far, and I answer almost every response that I get on Twitter. Tweet me, I will tweet back. Like my fan page, comment anything, put pictures up there, tag me. I don't care. Stay in contact with me. My email address is lusciousLatasha@yahoo.com. Also, very nice and easygoing. So, any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Any compliments, I'll take them. Any criticism, I'd love to hear it. So, I just like to keep in contact with my fans as much as possible.
That's definitely good to know. Ladies and gentlemen, Luscious Latasha. I like the name, by the way. Luscious Latasha. We're going to go ahead and let you go. Thank you so much for joining us. It was great talking to you. Best of success goes out to you. Good luck in your matches, including the one at WSU. Thank you for your time. You have a great weekend.
Thank you guys for having me so much. I really appreciate it. And you guys have a good night. I appreciate it a lot. And hopefully I'll be able to talk to you guys soon. And check out WSU if you can on pay-per-view for Breaking Barriers.
There you go. Check it out. You have a good night, Latasha.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was Luscious Latasha joining us. All right. Let's go ahead and get to some Impact talk before we get to our pay-per-view pick'em.
I'll be right back. Yeah.
All right. So Hulk Hogan got a big announcement to make. Hulkamania, brother. He's got a match with Sting at Bound for Glory in a couple of weeks. However, Hulk Hogan is trying to wheeze his way out. So he's making he say he's got an announcement to make that's going to change Impact Wrestling forever. So we'll see how that goes. Also tonight, a part of Karen Jarrett's series is going to be Terror versus Madison Wayne, and the winner will take that fourth and final spot in the final four-way. In the fatal four-way knockout championship match at Bound for Glory. And Andrew just posted something on the chat room, so let me go ahead and read it. Here's what Ken Anderson had to say about the WWE area. I don't know how it's possible to have a show about guys that want to fight each other with half-naked women running around with all the other stuff we have, and it has to be PG. I don't understand. That's from Mr. Anderson. First of all, ain't some of the knockouts show their skin as well? And second of all, I mean, this is coming from a company that likes to drop the word shit and it's bleeped. Okay, so yeah, WWE is PG on some accounts. It's not like they have the woman doing bra and panties matches anymore. So Anderson is just a disgruntled former superstar taking shots at his former company. So yeah, he's an asshole. I mean, that's what assholes do.
Yeah, instead of Mr. Anderson, it should be Mr. Asshole. Mr. Asshole! That sounds pretty good, huh?
Yeah. You know, I guess he can do that. He can do that, considering they on Spike TV and they let people curse up a storm anyway.
Yeah, why not? That's the ticket.
Yeah. So, Jeff Hardy continues to talk to people, asking for forgiveness because of the way he acted earlier this year, which kind of led to his hiatus.
Who?
Jeff Hardy. You know, superstars left and right saying, you screwed up this company. You did this. You did that. You better get your act together or I'm not going to forgive you. Blah, blah, blah. Jeff Hardy is Jeff Hardy. He's a screw up. He's like Charlie Sheen. People can't get enough of him. So yeah, anyway, Hulk Hogan, big announcement tonight. Translation, I'm trying to weasel my way out of the match against Sting at Bound for Glory.
Yeah, right. You better get in that fucking thing.
He better compete. I mean, Sting beat Ric Flair. A deal's a deal. You man up, go to Philadelphia, Bound for Glory, pay-per-view, and face Sting.
When is that?
That's in a couple of weeks. October the 16th. It's in a couple of weeks. But as for this coming weekend is concerned, now that we got our Impact portion taken care of, let's go ahead and get to our pay-per-view pick'em. Now, yes, we know there's only 4 scheduled matches, and there may be more announced on SmackDown tomorrow, but who gives a shit? We're going to make our picks on the matches that are scheduled anyway. So, let's start up with the Divas Championship match. Beth Phoenix will third time be a charm against Kelly, defending the Divas Championship. Who you have, the champion or the challenger?
How many times are these broads gonna face each other?
This is their third straight pay-per-view.
And Beth has lost
twice
before, right?
Yeah, she lost twice.
Well, 3 times a charm.
Yeah, 3 times a charm. They giving the Beth Phoenix and Natalya a push. And Kelly has had a good one. Did you know she's now won the championship? I mean, she's had possession of the title for 100 days.
Wow.
She's the first diva to do that since Maurice 2 years ago. But I'm going with Beth Phoenix as well. I think the time has come for Kelly to end her reign. She's a fighting champion. She'll give it all she got. But Beth Phoenix, it has almost been a year since she came back from surgery on her leg. So the comeback story will be complete, and the Divas of Doom will take over.
Rocket Man says Beth Phoenix too.
So,
Although
yeah.
I like to see Kelly win, you know? That bitch is fucking hot. I'd rather look at her than Beth Phoenix any day.
She's a cute.
I told my WWE friend that I'd like to bang the shit out of her. Make it happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Beth Phoenix. I think Kelly, you know, it's like Cinderella. The clock will strike midnight. On to the next match. The Celtic Warrior versus Captain Charisma. Sheamus versus Christian. So that Christian's not going to get any more world title opportunities anytime soon. He's got to go through a former 2-time WWE champion. So who you got? The Captain Charisma or Celtic Warrior?
I'm going with the mayonnaise looking boy.
You're going with the mayonnaise. You're going with Sheamus.
Sheamus, yeah. You're turning him into a good guy. Good guy's going to win. I'm sick and tired of Christian.
I'm tired of Christian
Give
too.
me one more chance.
One more match. You had your match last week and you lost. Although it was interference from Sheamus. But hey, you knew it was a lumberjack match coming in and you just couldn't get the job done. That being said, I'm going to go with Christian. He's the bad guy. He's going to find a way to win somehow. So, and Sheamus has been on a winning streak as of late.
Yep.
So, on to the World Heavyweight Championship match. Mark Henry will have his second title defense. This time against the man he won the title from, Randy Orton. Randy Orton has been in multiple Hell in a Cell matches. This will be Mark Henry's first. Who you got, Henry or Orton?
I don't know. That's a tough one there.
Yeah, Mark Henry with the inexperience, you know, but he has been hurting people left and right, so it's kind of made for him.
And there's no disqualification.
No DQ. Anything goes.
So if anything under the ring, they can grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I think that favors Randy Orton.
Yeah, because of the experience. He's been in multiple Hell in a Cell matches. And plus, I think the whole Mark Henry thing is starting to wear out anyway. He wanted to be validated, and he got it. So I say Randy Orton's going to win the world title again.
Either that or they're going to let Mark Henry win, then he gets to face Christian.
Well, Christian, if he beats Sheamus, then yeah, he'll probably get that opportunity. It's all about show and prove. Quit crying over spilled milk. Start winning matches and earn your
bitches.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Orton. So on to our main event, Hell in a Cell match, triple threat Hell in a Cell match, first time ever. Defended.
Hey, is that Diva match in the cell?
No, the only Hell in a Cell match, the only matches that's gonna be in the cell is Orton versus Henry and Cena versus Punk versus Del Rio. Those are gonna be the only two matches.
See, when you tell me you're having a Hell in a Cell, all matches should be in the cage.
Yeah, the name of the pay-per-view is called Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell. That means all matches should be in the cage.
But because these are the top matches, these are for the main titles of their respective brands. You know, those are the only.
Yeah, but wouldn't that make a lot more sense?
Yeah,
if you call it Hell in a Cell.
If you call it a Hell in a Cell match, then you probably should have for every single match. But no way they're gonna put the Divas in the Hell in a Cell. That's never happened then, and it's not gonna happen now.
Well, you know what's gonna happen, right?
What?
They should do all the cage matches at the same time.
Now they may have them in a steel cage match. I give you that, but then no way Divas are gonna be in that Hell in a Cell.
They you know, when you bring down the cage and you set it up for one match, you got to leave it there and have all the other matches there to bring, and then you bring it back up to the other matches, right?
Yeah.
Or you have the other matches first, You bring that cage down, and you know that cage ain't going anywhere for like another 2 hours.
They're probably gonna have Orton versus Henry first, for like the top of the first hour or top of the second hour, and then obviously Punk, Del Rio, and Cena, their last match. That'll be the last match of the night.
Those are the only two matches in the cage, right?
Only two matches in the cell.
Yeah, see, I don't like that. When you're advertising and telling them to sell, they all should be.
Yeah. So
That's false advertisement as far as I'm concerned.
So on to our last match: Cena, Del Rio, and Punk. Cena and Punk do have Hell in a Cell experience. This will be Del Rio's first. Also, it's the first ever triple threat Hell in a Cell match for the WWE title. The champion, who is John Cena, does not have to be pinned or submitted to lose the belt. So who you got, Cena, Del Rio, or Punk?
Well, I don't want Del Rio to win. I think Cena's going to win it.
So it seems like every time I pick Cena to lose, he ends up winning. Well, I'm going the other way around. I'll go ahead and pick Cena to retain the belt. So yeah. And as for Punk, I don't think he's going to win because I have a feeling they're going to have Punk versus Kevin Nash at the next pay-per-view at Vengeance.
You think so?
Yeah. Kevin Nash is still out there somewhere, so who knows what's going to happen. That's the only reason why I picked Cena. And they may have Cena versus Del Rio at Vengeance as well. So, we'll see what happens. Those are all
There
picks. Those are all pay-per-view picks. I want to thank Luxus Latasha for joining us. Oh, and I have two red-headed female wrestlers coming up in October.
Excellent.
One at the beginning of the month and one at the end of the month.
You got to love that.
Our next guest is Lucky O'Shea. Next week, she's from California. And we'll recap Hell in a Cell next Thursday night. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Don't forget, Chilling with Jeff and Kenny C this Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Pacific. And, of course, the ITMI 1-year anniversary show. That's coming up on Sunday at 9 p.m. So, busy weekend for ITMI and us. We'll see you this weekend on Chillin' and ITMI's 1-year anniversary. And we'll see you next Thursday night right here on ITMI Radio. Oh, one more thing, because she is a former guest after all. Amber O'Neal, Angel Orsini, 3-Way with Fire and Ice tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. Right after Impact on PW247radio.com tonight. They have former TNA Knockout Cookie, who is now known as Becky Bayless. And they have former WWE and ECW wrestler Dawn Marie. So, we are out of here. You all have a good weekend. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week right here on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. Good night, everybody. And we're done.
All right, cool. That was fun.
Did you hear any echo throughout the whole time?
Nope.
That's because I pushed the mixer button from the get-go. That's weird.
What do you mean?
So you didn't hear an echo the whole time?